Andy Sinton, 10 years as QPR's club ambassador. First of all, how do you feel?
Quite amazing, 10 years. How quickly has it gone? Love the role, absolute privilege to be in the role. Get up every morning, feeling blessed and privileged to be part of this great club that I can serve. So amazing.
And one of the big parts of your role is working with the Forever Ours, the former Players Association. That's something that you take massive pride in as well. How important is that to you to have a big role with the former players?
Well, it's really important for me as a former player, but I think it's really important for us as a club. I'm right at the front of it, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes play their part as well. It's something when I came back we spoke about and felt it was important because it's an area that QPR sort of lost touch with. But no, that's gone great. I think that's eight years in. What we inducted 120 plus players, either in person or posthumous or privately, when we've gone out to see people. So long may that continue. It's great. The former players means a hell of a lot to them and their families. Fans love it. So it's been really good, and as I said, long may that continue.
One of the big driving forces behind the Forever Ours is the Forever Ours Golf Day, which is a big money earner for the Players Association, and you play a huge role in that every year, don't you?
Well, again, it's another strand of the Forever Ours, and I love my golf. Played in a lot of golf days, so when I was asked to see if we could get one off the ground, took that on, and it goes from strength to strength. Again, it's not all about me, as other people play their part to make it happen, but to get 20, on average 20 former players covering many generations and many experiences at the club together on the day, playing with fans and sponsors, and it's a special day. I really look forward to it. The camaraderie comes back instantly, the storytelling, the reminiscing. It's a fantastic day.
And one of the other major parts of your role is working with the community trust. It's something that you take a lot of pride in as well, isn't it?
Well, again, it's a massive part of our club, and football in general does a lot of work wherever the club up and down the country in the community trust. But we're very proud of our community trust at QPR. We are it can be quite easy to say, we are a family orientated club and a community club. I think we really, really are. Andy and his team at the Community Trust, they do a fantastic job. We, ranging from many projects, touching the lives in a positive way of thousands of people per year, from the ages of 3 up to 90ish in some cases. So they do some great work. A real pillar, a shining light in the local community. And I believe football clubs are built around their community, and the Community Trust play a massive role in that.
And how important is that to you, that work that the Community Trust does on a daily basis?
Really important. I love to get out there and see what they're doing, how they're influencing various ages through various projects. We've had some fantastic things on a daily basis, some bigger than others, some go below the radar as such, but I think in the utmost of tragedies, when the Grenfell disaster happened, it showed us as a football club and us as Community Trust how we can pull together to serve the needs of, in that case in particular, tragic circumstances. But we do stuff that goes under the radar every single day, whether that's in schools or working with various initiatives. Brilliant work, and long may that continue.
And one of the major projects that the QPR supporters would see would be the annual Tiger Feet Walk, and that's something that you thoroughly enjoy, don't you?
Well, that's been going for, 15 years. I've done every one since I came back on board, and I love the day. It's brilliantly supported by all our fans. We raise quite a lot of money. The walk itself, 4 or 5 hours. You're walking with fans, you're reminiscing, you're talking, you're hearing their moans from time to time, and quite entitled. But fans are great. They love their club, and it's important that we continue to do things, certainly for that, because it's such a fantastic cause.
And for the viewers that watch QPR games from abroad or from afar, they listen to your screams on QPR Plus as well, and that's another element of your job that you thoroughly enjoy, travelling up and down the country, watching QPR.
Well, again, I see that as a privilege. I see that as a privilege to be able to watch my team, our club, every week, home and away. There was a time during lockdown which people couldn't do that. I was fortunate enough to be able to be inside stadiums at a really strange time. When the stadiums were empty and you're playing in front of no one. And at that time, through the streaming and through what we were doing as a club, you suddenly realise how important fans are really important to a football club. But the football club is really important to fans, and I think that came shining through. So just with that link doing the commentary, it was the only link at the time in the strangest times I've ever gone through, and hopefully never gone through that again, where you were kept apart, you couldn't see your loved ones, couldn't see your family, and you certainly couldn't watch your football team. So that played a big part. But yeah, the streaming, again, really thankful that the club asked me to do it. Love the role, get a bit excited from time to time, get quite down from time to time, but that's part of being in the role. And I try to communicate what I'm watching just like the fans would be, and I think maybe that's why they appreciate it. How I am with that. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I love the role.
You touched on lockdown and that tough period for everyone, and you reached out a lot to former players, supporters through the campaigns that we did as a club. They were just as important to you as anything else that you do, aren't they?
Really important. And again, I think that just shows QPR as a club in really good light. We had that campaign where you just reached out to people and you asked the question, are you okay? And in those sort of times in lockdown, probably that phrase, are you okay, was even more at the fore, because people were struggling with various sort of things, So as a club, do some amazing work. But yeah, reaching out to fans, I love that. I see them on a match day, I see them during a week, I'm involved with certain things. That's probably been the most rewarding part of the role, if you like, and I love it.
And on the pitch, what's been the best moment for you? When's the Sinton scream come out? When's it been the best?
There's been a few. I think there's a few where you guys have made me watch back, and you sort of cringe, but you cringe with pride, if that's the right way. There's a few things in the not too distant past which spring to mind. Jimmy's goal against Birmingham, last minute. I think that was just because of the circumstances. We were right up against it. Last minute goal, the way Jimmy scored it. So that brought a hell of a lot of emotion. But if you're pinning me on one particular game, I would probably go back to the Leeds United game, April 2024, where probably against the odds over the recent months, we secured our safety with an emphatic 4-0, brilliant performance, brilliant team performance against a very good team. So that one game probably sticks out, only because it's more recent. If I really had time to think about it, there's been lots of special moments, there's been lots of tough moments, but yeah, it's just a privilege to be there.
And up to the current day, we've recently welcomed new head coach Julian Stefan, and you've sat down and spoken to him about the importance of QPR and what it means to the supporters, haven't you?
Yeah, I spoke to Julian last week. He asked to see me. Something I appreciate, a coach coming in and wanting to know about yourself and the history of the club and things like that. It's something I do with all the new signings now. I think it's really important that with my background I can impress on the players or the coaches, what we are, who we are, what it means, and certainly the most important thing, what the club means to our brilliant fans. So yeah, it was great to sit down with them, excited for the new season to get underway. Now the fixtures are out last week, you start looking ahead. Preston will just be round the corner. I know there's a lot of work to be done from now till then, but yeah, can't wait.
And you mentioned that you sit down with all the new signings as well and really highlight the importance of pulling on that famous blue and white hoop shirt, don't you?
Yeah, I do, because it's something that's probably been aimed at certain players who've signed and played for our club over the years. So it's an idea that came from the board, I think, a few years ago, that someone like myself in the building, history, know what it's all about, sits with the players and just impresses that. First and foremost, it's a privilege to to pull on those iconic, famous blue and white hoops, you know, to play at that unbelievable stadium at Loftus Road. You know, it's a special club to me, and I just try and impress that, and hopefully the players can see that, see what it means to me. But I speak on behalf of thousands and thousands of people. You know, I'm just in my role, but yeah, they seem to like it. It seems to get through to them, and long may that continue as well.
And as a player, when you pulled on that shirt, you had a good relationship with the QPR supporters, but now it seems to be stepped up a notch, a bit more unique now, isn't it?
And I'm really thankful to the fans for that. You know, in your playing career, you know, owners, managers, head coaches, players come and go, fans stay with their team, and through the thick and the thin. So I always had a really good, special relationship when I was a player. Then you go away and you come back and you throw yourself into the role that you've been asked to do, and you try to do it to the best of your ability. And when I wake up every morning, that's my intention. You know, can I be the best I can be? Can I influence the club in any way I can on a daily basis? So no, our fans have been incredible, amazing, tremendous. You know, what other words can I say over the recent years? And they're going to be important, as always, moving forward this season and beyond. So yeah, I thank them for that support.
And as you mentioned, the fixtures are out, the countdown to the new season begins, and another year, here we go again.
Here we go again. Fasten your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. It'll be a roller coaster. Football is, you know, week to week, game to game, half to half. But yeah, sort of a new dawn again. Excited. Fixtures are out. You know where you are. As I've already said, a lot of work to be done. You know, been in a couple of days and seeing the boys working there. They're going well. 2 days in, they're ready. New coaches in place, new ideas. They go off on tour for 8 or 9 days to cement what they're doing and build that togetherness. Then they come back and there's some games. But before you know it, Preston will be here, just be round the corner. Then you get into that busy period again where you've got, 6, 7, 8 games in a short period of time. And then you get a breather, then you go again. And that's the nature of the championship that we play in. It's relentless. But yeah, I, like everyone, I think you always look forward to the new season, regardless of where you are and what's happening. You look forward to the new season. It's almost like a new start, and we're no different here. So yeah, can't wait.
Thanks, Andy.
Pleasure, and thanks to everyone for the support. And as always, come on, you ours.